Hi, sailors. Welcome to another edition of Start Sailing Now Extra. This is an interview with Heidi Frist, who is going to be in our February issue of SpinSheet magazine. So, welcome, Heidi.
Thanks.
So, you weren't from Annapolis originally. What brought you here? And were you in Annapolis long before you started sailing, or in this area long before sailing came into your life?
So I moved from Morgantown, West Virginia, and it was because of jobs. I was employed, got a job with the community college, Anne Arundel Community College, and I was probably here a good 10 years before I even realized that Annapolis existed, because I live outside of Annapolis, so never really traveled much into the city. So it was a good while before I even ventured into the city and actually saw sailboats and saw that the bay was there, the Severn was there to enjoy.
Eventually, a friend asked you to come out on a sailboat, and maybe you had a little trepidation, but tell us about after that first sail.
Yeah, so my friend at the time wanted to go out and watch the nudes race. And I was like, I don't even know what the nudes are. But I was like, no, I am not going out on a boat until you tell me that it's not going to capsize, because I don't want to have anything to do with the water, getting in it, all that stuff. So I got on the boat, and the first time I stepped on the boat, it was unbelievable. It was warm. Just the way the boat floated in the water was amazing. And the next thing I know, we're going out of Back Creek and out into the Severn. And then I don't think we went out into the bay, but we were definitely in the Severn area, just tooting around. And it was just totally awesome. Once they saw how excited I was, that's when they introduced me to the person that they crewed for, was Bob Diamond, and they just convinced Bob to bring me on, and I absolutely knew nothing about sailing. So it was great that Bob was so kind to let me come aboard.
You can tell me a little bit about that, but then he encouraged you to go take this course with J World down in the Caribbean, and I'm really curious because you'd been sailing for a few years at that point. It seemed though like taking that course took it up a notch.
There was a lot of things that came about with that. He encouraged me to go. I went, which that was really my first time traveling alone without a companion. So I was on my own, getting through airports, getting to Key West, taking a class, not knowing a single soul in the area. And so I think in a way that helped boost my self-confidence once I
Yeah.
realized that it's not scary out there to travel alone. And then getting on a boat with an instructor, and then and just building your self-confidence and realizing I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how excited I was. There's a little island, and I think they call it Christmas Island down there. I could be wrong, but there was a little island that I helmed the boat and went around this complete island. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I sailed around an island in the ocean. And I was driving. And then they had me do one little exercise where I had to maneuver a boat through a narrow channel. And I was a little nervous, because I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I did it, and I was like, I can do this. It just takes practice. It takes, practice and studying and all that. And that was it. I was hooked.
So you came back, and I mean, you knew it was then your dream to buy your own boat, which you did.
Yeah, it's funny because it's one of those dreams that you thought, oh, it's just a dream. It's not going to happen. But oh, it would be kind of cool. I had no intention of really buying a boat, but I wanted to go out more.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't getting more on Gabrielle because they only raced on Friday nights, and then they did regattas on some weekends. So I was like, I need more. And instead of looking for other boats to crew on, I was like, oh, this J30 came available. And I was like, I knew that it had the same hull as the J29. And I was like, I know I'm familiar with this boat in a way, so why not?
Yeah. Wow.
So I did. I bought it, but I didn't do anything with it for 2 years, basically. I kept it and I just examined it inside and out.
So, for someone that's thinking about getting into sailing and thinking about buying a boat, tell me about that because that seems really smart. Because the systems and all that are a big part of boat ownership.
It is, and I am grateful for the friends that I have that have spent time with me and teaching me, and I have friends that have recommended people that can come and work on the boat if it's something that we couldn't do together.
Right. I hear that again and again, and that's, I think, important to know because there is a lot to learn,
Yes,
but there's people to help
and the things that I get for Christmas are things for the boat.
you.
So, but you love sailing so much that that's what you want,
Yeah.
those kinds of gifts. So
Yeah, and so with your J30, you've become really active in your fleet, and I'm a little curious, are you strictly a racer? Do you do any cruising on this boat? Do you save cruising for vacations?
So I would say my J30 is mostly used for racing, but I do love to cruise it on occasions when I have an opportunity to do that. So um, a trip to St. Mike is an easy trip to do. And I'm a member of the Maritime Museum. So I tie up there so that I have access to the restrooms and all that stuff because my boat doesn't really have those
Okay.
things on it. So, but yes, I do like to race it, but I do save most of the cruising for the vacation chartering boats.
What would you say to someone that's, an adult that has not been in the sailing community but is really got their interest piqued by maybe having taken a ride on a boat or just seeing them on the bay? What words of advice or encouragement?
I would say if you even have a slight interest, you should explore it, go out, talk to people, like go to the SpinSheet crew party if there's one planned. Talk to people. If you're invited to a yacht club, talk to them about racing if they want to do that, or even if they just want to cruise, you can probably find a boat to get on. But the fastest way is probably taking a class, signing up for even a seminar, and talking to people and seeing if you can get out on a boat. And then I know that lots of people say walk the docks.
Mhm.
On a Friday night, beer can racing, that is like that's supposed to be the casual racing, getting out with family and friends. Walk the docks and just say, hey, I'm looking to get out on a Friday night beer can, or do you have space for me?
Is. Well, Heidi, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your story with us. It's been great talking to you.
Thanks. It's been great talking to you too.